That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road. I appreciate how they tell me now when I'm unplugged. All right, cool. Bet. All right, we back at it. But as you see, I'm back in the towns. I'm back in the apartment, things of that sort. Feel me? But yeah, man, let's get into it. You seen the title. Without further ado, we just gonna get into it tonight. We got a lot of topics to speak on, so let's get on it. Hey, yo, that was crazy, but yeah. First one is stack. So Steven Jackson recently just did an interview with in a one-on-one with Mike D podcast, and this is a 3.5-minute clip. I won't play all of it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But pretty much what Steven Jackson is describing here is the infamous. I don't know if it's an infamous video, but it's a viral video that Steven Jackson's often kind of referred to.
Chicago.
When
he has another
talking about when people are talking about Steven Jackson being an old, like kind of NBA player, successful basketball player who like loves to associate himself with the streets. And one of these moments was when he went to O Block. And hold on. Let me see if I can actually pull this up, the O Block thing. I'm gonna have this video playing in the meantime while I look it up. But there's a video of Steven Jackson on O Block with like some young kids in the middle of the night. He's like, yeah, we on O Block with it. You know what it is. A lot of players can't do this. And it was like a whole thing because people are like, bro, you're like a 42-year-old retired NBA player, and you're like going to the dangerous parts of America just to prove something. Here you go. Jason Whitlock, I obviously, well, and I don't think it's obvious, but I don't really. Hold on. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna play this audio, bro.
Yeah. A lot of y'all there whole block pulling up taking pictures. Where we at? Tell them how they coming. We're in the middle of it. I mean, y'all pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to. And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in.
Look at Whitlock face.
Checking in.
All right. Bet. So that's the video, right? That's the infamous Steven Jackson video because dude was like 42 at the time. As a former NBA player, whole millionaire, had a successful podcast and things of that sort. And it's like, why do you want to be street so bad? Why do you want to be a gangster so bad? What is the validation that you were missing from your childhood or your teenage years that you feel like you have to chase this certain persona? You're successful. You made it out. You're a successful guy. You're in your 40s. What are you doing? So it went viral a couple of years ago. So he finally addressed it in a recent interview. And I guess it was brought up because, he was the first person that a lot of people brought up when Big U got arrested over there and on the West Coast in California. And it came out in the allegations and the paperwork that Big U was allegedly charging black celebrities thousands of dollars to quote unquote check in and have provided security when going through certain areas and certain neighborhoods in LA and things of that sort. So obviously when the paperwork said that, when the little charges said that, people went, oh, Steven Jackson, because of this video that he had in O Block a couple of years ago that went viral. So Steven, defending himself. He went on this podcast, this one-on-one with Mike D, and he said what happened was he was in Chicago for the Big Three, and already that's a red flag. It's like, so you're in a town to play professional basketball, on a high level in a professional organized events. Ice Cube, shout out Ice Cube's put together an amazing league, a great idea that's going to live on, for as long as Ice Cube wants it to live on. You see Dwight Howard's playing his final year of basketball, his final season of professional basketball in the Big Three league this summer and stuff like that for Ice Cube. But it's a respectable, and we should put respect on the Big Three and what Ice Cube is on. We should support Ice Cube, excuse me, and all of that. You go while you guys are out on a business trip to Chicago for the big three, for this thing that we want to give Ice Cube props for and build the reputation that this is something that we respect. You go in Chicago and say, let's go to O Block. He said he got drunk. He was out one night when they were there that weekend of for Chicago Big Three. They got drunk and he said, hey, y'all, let's go to the O Block. And he was with Will Bynum, another former NBA player who's from Chicago. Will Bynum, or he say somebody who was with them had connections to somebody on O Block. They say, yo, can we come to O Block? They said, yeah, pull up. So he pulled up, and that's what happened. And he said this kid Tay, he just kind of was just attached to his hip the entire night. And he said, like, salute to Tay, he's a good kid. And he said he wanted to give him some good advice and all that stuff, because he knew, some of the things that Tay might be facing, just as a kid coming from poverty and everything like that. Because O Block, for those of y'all who don't know, there is like just apartment buildings, and I believe they're projects. I don't want to say 100% they're projects, but I believe it's like kind of like Callaway apartments and things of that sort over there, and it's like low income families and everything like that in Chicago, in a specific area. And they said they were gonna like tear it down a couple of years ago. I don't know if they actually went through with that, because I still see YouTubers go over there and make videos over there and be like, "Oh yeah, O Block, this and that." But yeah. So he said he was talking to the kid because he knows what he has to face once Steven Jackson left and stuff like that. And he said he was just giving him some game, and he said he never checked in. He never gave no money for no protection. He never needed to. He said because he's from that, and he said he's just good everywhere he goes. To be honest, like that's what he was essentially saying in his 3.5 minute clip. Me personally, like I said, my main thing is I feel like for Steven to do this, to even like where he went on this pod and defending himself so passionately about it, about the topic, I feel like there is I have to say this first. I'm not no professional. I'm not no psychiatrist. I'm not no therapist. I don't have no sociology degree. I don't have a psychology degree. None of that, bro. This is just me speaking, blah blah blah. This is what I see. This is my take from it. And I don't know Steven Jackson. I also have to say that. My take from it is like for some reason he feels like he kind of needs to prove that he is like real or down. And I think this is something that a few professional athletes and former professional athletes have kind of had to battle with through their careers of like proving they're real and stuff like that. And it's like, don't get it messed up. Just because I'm in the NBA, just because I'm in the NFL, I'm still about that life. And it's like, who you trying to prove something to, bro? At the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, a lot of the people placed in these positions, a lot of these people forced into these positions, born into these situations, their main goal and everything they do is to get away from those situations and to get out. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you running back to that? Why? Like, for what point? And I think that's you have to go to media and the glamorization of this lifestyle, all of these things and stuff like that. Um, it has people because like I said all the time on previous videos, I'm from the suburbs of Atlanta. I'm from Marietta. That's where I spend most of my time. That's where I stay with my mom and stuff like that. My dad was in the city. He was in Southwest Atlanta off of Cascade, the good side. But my mom, most time I spent was in Marietta in the suburbs. And in the suburbs, a lot of the black kids, like as we got older and older, they try to fit in more and more with what they saw on TV of like what being black or urban looked like. And it got to the point where, we get to high school. I'm Chief Keef's age. So Chief Keef pops in high school, sophomore, junior year of high school. And now that was like a shift. Ever since Chief Keef came out, it was like everybody wanted to be trappers, fill in the blank of everything, right? Of everything negative and things of that sort. And it was just that's when I saw a huge shift, and it got to the point where it like leaked into real life, and people real life trap, or people real trapping, excuse me, people real life living a dangerous lifestyle just to live up to what their idea of blackness is, or the idea of blackness that's being portrayed to us. And I think that's just a trap, bro. It's just a trap to like continue to tear apart our community and continue to prevent the progress of our community and our people. And so when I see Steven Jackson kind of go this route, still in his 40s, as someone who was a very successful and prominent face of the George Floyd movement, everything Black Lives Matter 2020 summer, it's disheartening, it's disappointing, and it's just like, I understand you're a human, you should look up to no man, no human or anything like that, because they always gonna let you down. That's the word. At the same time, it's like you can help, what I'm saying, progress the narrative around us as young Black men by not moving the way that you be moving, bro. Like, so yeah, that's all I got to say on that. We got a lot to cover, man. So I'm gonna get to the next thing. All right, the next thing we got.
That steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.